Hello, everyone. Welcome to AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter. I'm Madalyn Skylar. Today, we're going to be talking all about the brand new ChatGPT Images 2.0. I am blown away. I already thought ChatGPT had really good images. It gets better and better and better. We've talked on here plenty of times about ChatGPT and then Nano Banana, and then ChatGPT is good again, and then Nano Banana 2. And like there's this constant back and forth. But this week, we have this brand new ChatGPT Images 2.0. It is phenomenal. I've been playing with it. I've got so much for us to look at and discuss. Plus, we come here so you can get helpful AI tips, tricks, and advice that will help you work smarter, not harder when it comes to your business, even your everyday life. And if you're new here, welcome. I help creators and entrepreneurs get more done in less time when it comes to their AI. I'm also all about helping all of us boost our productivity even higher without getting so overloaded. And if you need help with any of your AI, any kind of digital marketing, I've been in digital marketing for 30 years. I've been fully immersed in AI for a handful of years now. I'm happy to help you out, provide guidance and support in any way that I can help you get through this where it's just easier and quicker for you. So reach out, let me know what kind of help you're looking for, and we'll see if we can get you booked into a session. So this live stream we're hosting right now is brought to you by our Skool community, AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter, over on the Skool platform. If you're not familiar with Skool, you're missing out. That is, for me personally, I think it's the best place for communities to live at versus some of the social media platforms we normally hang out on. I mean, still social media, but I'm just saying instead of Facebook groups, I much rather prefer now Skool. So if you're not familiar with Skool, Skool, Skool.com, but we have our AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter community over there, and we continue these discussions over there. Whereas this live stream, we're just here once a week for an hour. So let's bring up my co-host today. We got Barb here with us. Hey, Barb, how are you today?
I'm doing just great. It's beautiful outside. I know you're next door in Texas, but I got all the sunshine, girl.
That's awesome. Yeah, we had like huge storms this week
Yeah.
and even yesterday, and now it is just beautiful outside. The sun's
Great.
shining. It's yeah, we got us some really nice days now, so it's wonderful enjoying it while we can before it starts getting too hot. But always great having you here and hearing your perspective on things. The big news, of course, is this Chat GPT Image 2.0. And I've been spending some time playing with it, and I'm pretty blown away. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I used it briefly, and I have to say that I'm looking forward to this session today because during that brief time that I used it, the one thing that I did notice was that everything was properly spelled. But in the particular image I generated, it just threw the text on there. It was really overwhelming with text. So I had to give it more guidance, and remind it who was there. It was talking.
Right. Yeah.
But so I'm looking forward to what you've learned today.
Yeah, I'm excited to share this. And just again with Skool real quick, if anyone here has not been on our Skool community, be sure to go join us over there. Go to skool.com. You can just search for AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter, or use my shortcut link at bit.ly/Madalyn Skool. But this is where the conversations live on. I'll be posting all kinds of stuff in there about this new ChatGPT Image 2.0. But for today, we're just going to be going through a lot of it in this live stream so you all can learn about it and be familiar with it. It's brand new. It's brand new. It literally just came out, but I'm super excited to share all the things I've uncovered. But first, before we dive into this session, I quickly want to share. I mentioned to you all that I'm currently running a 5-day video challenge. I have another Skool community. I have multiple Skool communities, but I have a new one. It's called Video Like a Rock Star. And it's a program I used to teach years ago, something I was very passionate about. And it's something I decided to bring back because there's still such a need for video when it comes to whether it's getting confident, pressing the button, or just learning how to do simple editing, how to get better lighting and audio and just all the different things, but doing it as a group. And when I taught this previously, it was part mastermind. So you have that group, you have that community, so you don't feel alone. And then also, lessons, classes. And so I'm relaunching all of this, and we just started off with just a free 5-day video challenge, and it's been so much fun. I want to play a short little video I made this morning, and just to show you the power of video. I made this short video while I'm out walking my dog. I literally have the leash in one hand, my phone in the other. I made this whole video from start to finish while I was doing like a 30-minute-ish walk. And not only that, I did all the editing on my phone app that I use. I use Adobe Premiere on my phone, and it's free. I did all the editing while I was walking her. The only part I didn't do until I came home, where I had two hands, was putting up a title, embedded in there where it'll say Skool.com, video like a rock star. But real quick, watch this. It's just the power of video, and we're having so much fun in my community, getting everybody pumped up about making short little videos. So yeah, watch this video that I did quickly and easily. You from hitting the record button on your phone and making little videos what's stopping you from hitting the record button on your phone and making little videos like this? Let's break through the hesitation that you're having. I'm Madalyn Skylar. I'm a video confidence coach. I help people get from point A to point B with just pulling out their phone and making a video. So many people hesitate, and I help you get over that hesitation. We're right in the middle of my free 5-day video challenge happening over at Skool. But the thing is, I built this program to also be evergreen, meaning you can go at your own pace. So while we're currently doing this together as a group inside my community, you are free to sign up and go through the lessons and do it at your own speed. This will always be available moving forward. So come join me over on Skool. Just look up video like a rock star or tap on the link. Lucy, what do you think of my 5-day video challenge? Yeah, you like it, huh? Tell everybody to come join. Lucy. As you can see, she's camera shy, but I'm working on her, and I can help you as well. That was so much fun.
That was cute.
One of the things, so some here may remember back in January, literally the day before January 1st, December 31st, I said to myself, Madalyn, let's do a 30-day content challenge. Just give yourself a big outside your comfort zone thing to do. Like, I have no problem doing video. I have no problem posting on social. I have no problem doing any of this. But a 30-day challenge is a bit much for anybody. And at first I was thinking, well, let me do a 30-day content. So I would just post something on all my social media every day for 30 days. But I knew I was going to mostly do video. But I didn't call it a 30-day video challenge first. I initially a 30-day content challenge. So I'm like, I'm just going to do this. So January 1st, next day, I'm like, all right, I'm make a video while I'm walking my dog, Lucy, like, scenario like what you just saw there. Walking her, I'm like, let me, because I used to do videos. I had a dog a long time ago, Hogan, back when Instagram was newer. I used to make videos just like that. So I was known as the Twitter marketing expert. I used to teach Twitter. And what I would do, I'd be walking them in the morning, and I usually look kind of frumpy like that. I usually have a base because, it's like I get up and I go walk my dog first thing in the morning. So I put a baseball hat on. I'm not dressed up, and I'm just out walking my dog. So when I did that back in the day with Hogan, hey, Rachel, good to see you. What I would do, because all of this was still pretty new when video first became a thing on Instagram, I would make little videos like that and post on my Instagram, like walking and talking. I'm out walking Hogan, let me talk about Twitter tips. And people loved it because they saw my dog on it. I would show and it's that realness, that humanness, And I love doing that. And I did it. I didn't do it every day, but I did it quite regularly. And it was a long time ago. And so for January 1st, I'm like, I want to get back into doing like some kind of regular thing. I love that style I used to do back in the Instagram days with those videos out walking my dog. So I think I'm going to incorporate that as a big part of it. But some days I'm not going to want to do a video and I'll just post a piece of content. So originally it was my 30-day content, my 30 days of Madalyn, came up with a crazy name, 30 days of Madalyn content challenge. Very quickly, I changed it to 30 days video challenge because I'm like, you know what? This will really stretch out of my comfort zone by doing a video every day. And I mostly did that style of video, which is not always, I'm not comfortable walking outside in public, taking my dog for a walk, holding the phone, this is not comfortable for me. Walking and talking on my phone because I'm thinking somebody's looking out their window wondering what's wrong with this crazy lady. Why is she doing that? So, and that's my problem. That's my mindset issue. And it's like, this will help me get over it. I'm just going to make these videos every day, not overthink, because that's always a big part. We all overthink. And it was so much fun. And during that process, people said, I'd like to do a video challenge, but nobody wants to do 30 days. That's pretty tough. So people were like, I would do a 5-day video challenge. Hi, Christopher. Good to see you. So that's what we're doing right now. This 5-day video challenge is so much fun. And I just wanted to show you all that fun little video I made because it was quick, easy, and I just edited it on the fly. So the next program I'll be teaching in there and is going to be how I do stuff, like how I do the editing so quickly and easily. And I know that a lot of people are interested in stuff like that. So I just want to do a quick share. Rachel, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining. We've got lots to talk about today with this new ChatGPT. Oh, you're muted.
Everything is slow today, so I'm here to support and I'll just be in the background.
Okay, all good, all good. We're going to be talking all about ChatGPT Images 2.0. It's the brand new thing that just came out from ChatGPT. And what's so wild to me, and I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts, is you just had this huge exodus from ChatGPT, right? A lot of people left and went to Claude, and for very good reasons. We've talked about it here on the chat. I was just like, I get it, but I don't want a political decision necessarily. Like, how does this affect business? How does this affect all the stuff I'm doing? I don't like all the stuff that's happening publicly we're hearing about, but, and I keep saying I'm going to go all in on Claude, but every time I think about and I start playing in Claude, something brings me back over to ChatGPT. And just when I was spending more time in Claude this week, ironically this week, ChatGPT Images 2.0. So I'm like, I did notice the images I do in ChatGPT have gotten better recently. I guess maybe it was a little bit of a soft launch because here's the thing ChatGPT could never do, and it drives me nuts. It will not do the right aspect ratio for a YouTube thumbnail. You can tell it 5 different ways or 10 different ways. It still will not do it. And so I've talked about here in the past about my work, because I will always find a workaround. So I would make these thumbnails in ChatGPT, and then I would take that and either go into, Whisk. We talked about Whisk AI quite a bit here in the past, and Whisk will do it into, like, I put my image that I like and like make this a YouTube thumbnail size. In 2 seconds, it's done. And then I started doing it over in Canva because I found a good workflow to just taking that ChatGPT image and going into Canva and doing it there. And that's been working out well too. And then I noticed last weekend, because I'll still tell it in ChatGPT, I'll still say, I'm just hoping one day it will finally do it. And I said, I need a YouTube thumbnail. I always start, I need a YouTube thumbnail, blah, blah, blah. And I was shocked when I downloaded it, like, I don't have to put this in Canva anymore. Oh my God, I don't have to go fix the aspect ratio. It was perfect. So I did notice with the announcements this week, one of the things they said they did at OpenAI is it now can do a gazillion different resolutions, different ratios. And it's like, thank God, because initially it could only do, I think, just a few. And then I know they added the ability to do more, but now I think it's some crazy number it can do with the aspect ratio. And for some people, that's a big deal. You want it to do the size you want. Have y'all run into any issues with that, with any of these AI where it's not getting the
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hope you're going to show us where we pull that in ChatGPT today, because I didn't realize they had more than the two all this time. So I have the 1024 by 1024, and then the wide format is like 1536, I think, by something. And I've had to deal with that. My number one go-to tool has been Snagit for ever since it was introduced.
I use Snagit every day.
Yeah, every single
Love
day.
it.
And I can increase, I can increase the size there, and I do a lot of manipulation and so forth. But I keep thinking this is crazy. It should be in the ChatGPT. I have other AI applications where it's included. So I'm eager to learn that. If you've got that, I want to watch closely.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to start off with just showing you all the things I've uncovered with this, like just starting off first with on OpenAI's website. They've got the big announcement. This was on the 21st, so this is as of Tuesday. This has happened, introducing ChatGPT Images 2.0. And this is available on all ChatGPTs, free and paid. Now, I'm on the $20 a month paid plan, and I've already been doing a lot, but it can do text unbelievably better now, better than like this. All this you're seeing right here on the screen, this is all done with ChatGPT Image 2.0. It is incredible, and I've just been watching all these different examples. And look at this. So this is the image mode. Now, if I'm just looking at the text, it took all this text right here, and look at that. That's incredible. And it's it always was funky with the text. It did get better in the last iteration, and I don't run into issues as much with misspellings or just funkiness, but this is even better. I mean, look at this right here. That's incredible. Like, would you ever think ChatGPT Images could create something like that? In the detail?
Not until this announcement.
I look at this. This looks like a real magazine. That right there you're looking at was done with ChatGPT Image 2.0. That is, I mean, look at, you got the photo of the wolves, you got the different size text. You look like you're looking at a magazine. Now look at this. Does that not look like a real sheet of paper from 20 years ago that somebody wrote on and spilled coffee on?
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm wowed by this. Now, this is so new, so I haven't done a lot yet. Now, when I got to this one, I'm thinking, oh man, we're really in trouble. We are not going to be able to distinguish real from AI anymore. I mean, hopefully the tools where people because I don't know if anybody's noticed yet, when you're on X, if you upload an image that was created in AI, it now tags it as AI. You can't undo that. It will show that this was an AI generated image. And I think that's great. And I think that's important, because when you look at how detailed this is now, how will we tell the difference between real and AI generated? This is so real looking what we're looking at on the screen. I don't know what this is. I guess it's some kind of comic book or something. I don't know. But the realness of this is incredible.
Just a food for thought, though. I don't have any problems with that. It saves so much time, these expressive elements that we're using way back from when we first got on computers. But the human factor comes like when it creates you, Madalyn, and me, Barb.
Yes.
And it actually looks like us and scares the bejesus out of us to see us facing ourselves saying, well, I didn't say that, and that's what we need the protection for.
Exactly.
At least I think, because
exactly. Look at this. That right there created by ChatGPT, and you look like you're seeing somebody's photo they took of a professor teaching a course, but then and it's showing you something that's new it can do. You see the image within an image within an image. That's another new feature in all of this, is that it can do that so clearly now. I mean, look at that. It all looks so real, but all AI generated. I mean, look at that. It looks like an old photos. And that looks
It
like
really
what?
does.
Like out of the 80s.
Well, look
or
at the
90s.
digital
Oh,
imprint
yeah,
on the
2004.
time imprint from
Yeah,
2004. I mean, my
Yeah. I mean,
gosh.
that's incredible. I remember those old computers that looked all clunky. I remember my first laptop. It was so clunky and thick and heavy. This would have been either late 80s or very early 90s. Look at this. It's incredible. So this is where image generation has gone on ChatGPT. So what I'm curious is the people that love Claude. Here's what I'm thinking, and I could be totally wrong, but here's my thought. People that left ChatGPT are going to be like, well, for $20 a month, I'm going to keep ChatGPT and use it for images. Claude doesn't do images like that. Now, I know they have that new Claude design, but Claude does not do, and that was another reason why I kind of held back from going all in on Claude, because I use ChatGPT for images way too much. And it's like, there's just no way I could give up paying $20 a month for ChatGPT, because between the brainstorming and between image generation, it has been so valuable to me. I do like Claude for copywriting, and I've been able to get plenty out of that on the free Claude. And then of course I have Magi, and I love Magi.co, and I use Claude over there as well. I just work with everything I have in front of me is basically the way I've been doing it. Let me work with what I've got. I'm utilizing Claude more, but I'm not quite ready to pay for, do a paid plan yet. Although some of those native features I'm still very interested in. I'm just like, let me kind of learn more about the native features. And at some point, but then it's just going to have to be, okay, I have a paid ChatGPT, a paid Claude, and a paid Magi. And for an extra $20 a month, it's probably just going to be worth it. It's hard because there's all these different places to go. And it's another reason why I like Magi, because I have this one place to go. And by the way, side note, Dustin added a new ChatGPT image 2.0 to Magi, so it's there, which is a big plus. It's not cheap to use. It does take a lot of tokens, credits, however, you refer to the system, whether you're in ChatGPT or using Magi. But I was playing with it quite a bit last night, and ChatGPT natively didn't stop me, and I made some really cool stuff with it. So, but I don't know, does this get y'all excited just to see the quality we're looking at?
It's exciting and intimidating, because I see so many, like you said about one of the groups I belong to on Facebook is called the President's Group, and it's supposed to be all this old memorabilia from all the presidential, all the presidents that we've had. Mm-hmm. And I have lots of autograph stuff, and you learn about mechanical, back in the day, we didn't have all of this technology, and so they still figured out a way to duplicate, and so many of the presidents actually used a mechanical pen, and of course they're revealing all of that now. But like when you were bringing those old documents up, just like this happened to me in real life, is when Steve Jobs pulled up in front of my place in the Winnebago, and knocked on my door and came in, sat down at my 200-year-old oak table, which I had talked about online, and just chatted. And we got a picture of it. I've never put it online. I mean, it was my thing, and people who were there, it was quite an experience for all of us, because at that time he had given up on Apple. Well, publicly he had. I'm not going to say he had, but and he was wearing another t-shirt from what he was doing, and he's all being compatible with what I was doing and so forth. And he was younger than me, and the whole thing is we were, communicating back in the early days, BBS and so forth, because we didn't have this live video to be using. And yet it was part of my history. And to see that, I bet you I could make that up on ChatGPT. I could pull out my picture and not use it to, I can use another picture like me of this now and put that in there. And I bet I could bring it together. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a challenge for me. I was looking at it and I thought, God, I wonder if they can do that. And then it's intimidating because, what that says is a lot of our records that we have on record, historic records, they could change things. That's not a good
Yeah.
thing.
Right. And that's why I think, there needs to be a way to distinguish what's AI generated versus not.
But I don't think that's reliable either.
No, it would not be.
Said about them tagging now automatically. I was going to go in my X account and check that. But even because I was telling you before we came live today about I was upset about what was happening on Facebook with the Meta AI and how it was just automatically tagging. It wasn't that I had an AI post, but it tagged its AI onto my post, offering 2 questions up to the people who read my post. And when I checked the sources on it, it didn't. One of them went to all references to me, my Linktree and on Substack and so forth. But one of those links didn't have anything at all to do with me. So that's scary. It's really scary. And I do think in the United States of America, I have a hunch that we may do something about that. I mean, but this is global. And as much as we can come to agreement on these issues with other countries, it's what other countries are really top players in the AI marketplace.
Right.
What's happening.
Right.
And there's always, if you can do all these good things with it, think of the bad, because there's always bad players out there.
Oh, 100%. I've noticed on X, it's not showing AI generated anymore because I have images where it's shown that in the tweets and now I don't see it. And that's interesting. So I wonder if they changed their mind on that or if it's just glitchy. Maybe it's a glitch. But let me show you, like OpenAI, if you go to their X account, they've been posting all kinds of stuff. So on this particular tweet, it says, this is not a screenshot. So that right there it looks like a screenshot and it's not a screenshot. It's a JPEG. Created, it's really interesting to see this. Now, I want to play, I did grab, especially since you're, just mentioning about the aspect ratio thing, there is, OpenAI put, these videos out about this, and I found one where they talked just specifically about the aspect ratio. So I can play this real quick so we can learn more about that. It's like just a short 2.5 minute video on,
okay.
Because it's good to know that, they've done something about that because that was the thing I always had issue with is that it was so limiting on the sizing. But they do have like a long video of like all the interviews of the staff and talking about, but this one is a clip specifically about aspect ratios. And let me put, can I put closed captioning? I don't see that. Okay, I guess not.
Now with variable aspect ratios and resolutions, users have the flexibility to really get what they need out of the new Imagen model. My name is Devo. I'm a researcher on the Imagen team. Today I wanted to talk about aspect ratios and resolutions in Imagen 2.0. Previous models would only allow fixed portrait, fixed landscape, or square. Our new Imagen model can output a range of different width and height of the image, and it can also output the image in higher resolution. Yeah, so I brought some examples to show today. The first one, I wanted to make a poster about the different layers of the ocean. Make me a tall 3x1 poster. Okay, and it's generating. It looks good to me.
Wow.
So now if you wanted to print this is where resolution starts mattering so that it's legible and small text looks really good. Before in our API, you would max out at 1K for the resolution, but now you can request up to 2K.
Can you take a look at this?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. This looks really good. This looks really cool. And all of the images are very crisp too. I think this is ready for a classroom. So before, at the default lower resolution, you could barely read the text on this grain of rice. You can see that there's some text. But now at higher resolution, you can clearly read the text, and it's a big difference from what we had before. The model also understands what aspect ratio would be suitable just based on the prompt. So something that I've been playing with recently that's been really fun is creating 360 panoramas of places that I would like to visit that I haven't been to yet. Make a 360-degree panorama taken from the top of Half Dome. So the model understands that it needs to generate it in roughly a 2:1 ratio because that's what most panoramas are. But let's fact check this. So I'm going to ask Codex to quickly code up Panorama Viewer for me. Let's put it to the test. Okay, this works. And you can see that I have a 360 view.
Wow.
One thing that's really cool is I can't really see the seam. The model did a really good job of making sure that both of the edges are consistent with each other and match up really well. Let us know in the comments if you can find the seam. Bet you can't though.
Wow. Y'all, that's wild. So Barb,
That's amazing. Yeah.
that's so cool. That is so cool. So does this excite you more, Barb, now knowing that you can do these different?
Well, I see it, but I can't see it within the application of where you can do the changing the size thing.
Well, no, you can just ask it what you want. You just tell it what you want.
Any size.
Yeah, you just tell it exactly what you want, like what he was doing.
The 2:1, 3:1, whatever. So you have to know that. Well, what I did was I asked ChatGPT, I said, well, I want to use the new feature. And so it gave me in the response after that, and oh, well, then you need to provide this information. And I didn't get back to it yesterday because of what was going on in my world. So perhaps it's there and I didn't notice it. But even so, you and I both have graphic arts background and so forth, and the average person would not. You know, you get the executive level person in most fields that they don't have that kind of background. They have a staff that does that for them. And so what we're talking about is eliminating some of those staff things. I mean, we all know Facebook's like saying, hey, we're going to drop off 10% of the human factor and pour on more AI. And so that's where it comes in. I mean, if you walk up to me, I know what 3:1 means, 2:1 means, and so forth, because that's my background. But that's not the normal person, the average person.
Right. But I would just, work on it in the prompt, but also, and I should have screenshotted it and I didn't, but last night when I was playing on it, and I'm pretty sure it was on my phone. I don't think it was on desktop, but on the phone, I was looking at one of the images I created, and it did have this little icon, and it said it was like resolute, like I guess it was ability for me to click to change resolution because I don't know. I should have.
Thanks for bringing that up. I'm going to check my phone because you're right. In his video, that's what I was saying. When we were watching the video moments ago, you could see down at the bottom, there was a little icon there. And I never saw that. So
yeah, I know. I saw something. Let me check real quick and see, because I remember seeing something. I'm like, oh, that's new, but I don't remember where in the process it showed. It was like it popped up, but then I didn't see it again. So I'm pretty sure it was mobile. I could be wrong, but let me show you. Back to Magi, because if Dustin was here at Magi, he'd be like, we can do all this at Magi. Hello. And see, I forget that it can do the resolutions. It's pretty interesting. So real quick, let me show y'all. So when I'm in my Magi, so it's an all-in-one AI tool, you have everything in here. And so with Nano, I'm going to show you the comparison between Nano Banana and this new ChatGPT image 2.0. So with Nano Banana, which I've always liked, you have the ability to do all these ratios and up to 4K. I always forget about that. And then these are the different versions of Nano Banana. And of course, the newer one's the version 2. And Dustin lets you know, how many credits are used on this. So, the higher the credits, the quicker you go through them for the month. You can always top off and get more, pay for more. But it's interesting when a better, higher version is actually less, because version 2 is a 1.3x, whereas the version 1 Pro is a 2.5x. And it's like, well, why is that? But sometimes, I remember he explained it once somewhere online, something about sometimes these are getting phased out, like this is, Nano Bananas, Gemini, Skool, that they charge more for using than old one, I guess. I don't know. And then if I go into the GPT image, and this is giving me a heads up, the selected model consumes monthly usage faster than most. Because it's new, it is a higher right now. The version 2 says a 3.3, whereas the version 1, 4.0, higher for version 1. So if I click at version 2, which is the new one, and then I can get the 16:9, which is the YouTube, and I already have it defaulted to a high resolution. So you get a lot of options. You're still using ChatGPT or Nano Banana or whatever when you're using a third-party tool like this. It's just everything is there, but Dustin gives us so much flexibility in there. So I just wanted to point that out, because whether you're using these natively inside of ChatGPT, which is what I've been doing, trying out this new feature, but you do still have a lot of flexibility if you're doing it over on Magi. Let me show you next up. I've been having a lot of fun just learning more about this new feature, and I came across a couple of short videos, people talking about it, and I want to play a couple of those for y'all. Let me cue this up. TikTok is not always the easiest to cue these up, but because we're all basically getting a lesson today, and I'm learning with y'all, because all of this is incredibly interesting. Okay, so let me show you this one.
ChatGPT has an all-new image model. Here are 5 things that anyone can do for free with ChatGPT image that they could not do before, or at least not do well. 1, pictures within pictures. This entire image, this entire mood board behind me is AI generated. Here's another example of that. Pictures, multiple pictures within a picture. Number 2, you can upload a picture of yourself and the image will actually stay consistent. Here it is doing a color analysis for me. Number 3, style adherence. I asked it to make a photo that looked like it was shot on a camera in 2008, and it did that. And notice that they're playing Guitar Hero in the background. Number 4, it has over 8,000 different aspect ratios it can use. So this whole image behind me, it's not cropped. That's just the dimension that it outputted in an actual Instagram story format. Here's another example of that. A panoramic aspect ratio, totally AI generated. Number 5, screenshots. It generated this screenshot. And when you punch in here, the level of detail is actually insane. I got early access and have been playing with this tool for a couple days now. I've only scratched the surface here. So if you want to learn more about this tool and what it can do and how to spot AI images,
Wow, so that's pretty cool. But when she said 4,000 image ratios, is that how she said it? I was like, whoa, I didn't hear anything about that at OpenAI. I mean, I definitely can do more different sizes than I could before, but she said 4,000, I think, right?
Yeah.
Did I hear it right? It's like, okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, she got early access, so she probably does have some kind of insider information. So what are y'all thinking? Just, seeing and learning more about this.
I'm always open to learning. Have been I'm a lifelong learner. That's what I do. And I found out, thanks to ChatGPT earlier this morning, that that's a good thing. It will keep me sane a lot longer.
That's right.
So, this is the level of sanity you're going to get, but at least
Right.
it keeps me here.
You're so funny. Let me play another short video. I just like grabbing these shorts because it's just a lot of info packed in tightly so we can learn.
Major update with ChatGPT. They just came out with Image 2.0. Images are fire, but can it create real content? So I had to test it out with thumbnails, because if you can remember when they first came out, it did me dirty. Now it's getting my facial expressions. It even gets my line logo. I even tested different scenes with different text, and it all got it right. Now you can do this on mobile or desktop, and you can pick from different templates that they give you. You just pick the template you want. You can take a photo or upload your own. For the thumbnails, I uploaded a picture and added a prompt. What do you think about ChatGPT Image 2.0? Drop it in the comments.
So yeah, that was a good little short. You know, I like seeing how people are trying it out and just sharing, you know, the things they're learning about it. I got another short video I want to play real quick, and then I'm going to show you something I made last night that absolutely blew me away. I was just, I guess I've liked the ChatGPT images. I've been using it for quite a while. So I'm like, I didn't even realize they were working to make it even, you know, you're like, this is pretty good. I guess things can always be better. But what they launched this week, it is just wild. So here's an interesting video I found.
Between ChatGPT's new image model and this prompt, social media just got so much easier. Watch this. If you didn't know, ChatGPT just released Image 2.0, and it can make up to 8 images at a time, and it can even research and prepare for those images. To come into ChatGPT, then you're going to use this prompt. I run blank business. My website is blank. Please review my website, my business, and create me 8 different social media posts that I can post on my Facebook and Instagram. Make sure that you have thinking and image on. ChatGPT is literally going to research your website, go look at any branding assets, and start to create those images. In just a few minutes, beautiful marketing materials all built by ChatGPT.
Wow. That was an interest. I'm glad I found that one. That was interesting. It's like, wow. So you can have it do the thinking and figuring out and create the images based on that. So that was, and I'll have links, just a reminder, I'll have links to all these videos we're watching today over on my YouTube. I'm broadcasting to a variety of places right now. I'm on my Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. But over on my YouTube, I'll add the links to all of these in the description, especially like that one. He actually showed a screen with that prompt, and like you could just take a screenshot of it or go back and watch it again and get all the info. But I'm going to try that prompt sometime, because that was what a great idea he just showed us. And what he got out of it was pretty darn interesting. Let's see what else I have to show you.
So while you're doing that, I am actually sitting here with it on my phone again, trying it and using, instead of putting me as the picture in there, I put my corgi in there. I will share that in your group later.
Yeah.
That comedic one, it was the mighty tag, and they focused on my corgi had, you know, her license on her collar, and it focused on that, but they made her into a male corgi.
Okay.
So I will change that part. I'll go back and edit it, but that is a lot of typing for my image to be put in there. And one of the things I've really appreciated about ChatGPT after we had the project is to be able to use a lot less text in prompting it, because I have that all there. But I definitely see the potential.
Yeah, and I'm going to show one more. I was going through this last night. So this guy had posted a variety of things, so you can see like what this GPT Image 2.0 does. And so like he starts off with this, like original. He says,
wow,
ChatGPT's new image model can take a picture. You can take a picture of a house. Wait. Oh, it says ChatGPT's new image model can take in a picture of a house and generate an entire floor plan. It blows every single other image model out of the water. I've been trying it all day, and here are 10 unbelievable things it can do. So this was his first one. So that was pretty cool. And I'm just going to go through and show y'all each, because this was pretty wild. This one is make this graph prettier. Easily beautify simple charts to make them professional grade and presentable. So the one on the left is, you know, the previous, and it's like, make it prettier. And look at how much better the one on the right is. That is wild. This one is so interesting. Technical diagram of photosynthesis. This is a complete game changer for education. The accuracy and depth is unparalleled and far better than Nano Banana 2. Now, Notebook LM has been doing these kinds of images really well. They're doing a lot of, like, infographics are incredible over there. But after seeing this one last night, I'm like, oh, this is really going to be rivaling what Notebook LM has been doing with this style. But that's incredible. Look at all the details. Absolutely amazing. This one says, make this DoorDash UI more creative and provocative. The model is super good at UIs, user interfaces, and is trained on it. The detail here is flawless, really useful to ideate designs in image space before implementing them. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a before and after, left side, right side. That's super impressive. All right, next one here is, I was trying to keep these on the side. Why did I do that? Okay, I pressed the wrong thing. Okay, so this one really caught my eye. Generate a brand kit for a fictional brand. Awesome for colors, icons, consistency, fonts, and everything else. Nails this prompt. So yeah, for typically we see this with bigger companies that, you have a brand kit with like your colors, your logo, your fonts, all your stuff. Look at how nice this is and professional. That to me was super impressive. This one I was so wowed by. New York City stereotype map by district in Billy, I don't know what that means. Even though the map is not pixel for pixel accurate, the sheer number of characters and details is ridiculous. And I was on my phone last night, zooming in. This is wild. Like it has all these different parts, the different boroughs, but within them, like Brooklyn down here, Williamsburg, and it gives like a little description. Like it's like, what that area is like in small print. Harrisburg says hipsters, muscles, and craft everything. It's so small to read. Park Slope is families, strollers, and co-ops. I just loved it. This is such a fun, whimsical. This would be like something you would see printed as a poster on the wall in like a New York City deli or something. It's just cool and hip, very New York, but I thought this was really interesting. This one is cuts of beef from a cow in the style of Da Vinci with labels in Japanese. How interesting of a prompt is that? That is quite interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Detailed diagram explainer of Quinn 3.6 is some technical thing. Another educational one, using the model to take a blog post and create a graphic out of its super powerful. It is super powerful without the yellow tone artifacts of Nano Banana. That is really nice. Really nice. So right now, if you're on X, you're going to see a lot of people putting posts like this. They're going to town with this and sharing all these incredible examples. This was another one that caught my eye. Map of California with exaggerated label features. I love this prompt so much. Really cool way to understand the geography of various places. So it's like showing, the mountains up here, Hollywood, San Francisco, you got all the different landmarks, but done so creatively. And you got Jaws down here, Pacific Ocean, trying to, take a bite out of a surfer. The details and the colors, really impressive.
I like that one because I live in California and everybody thinks that the entire state looks like Los Angeles. So this actually shows you, it's kind of, the aspect ratio is a little weird because Jaws is as big as the mountains.
Right.
But it's kind of nice that you can see the evergreens and the mountains and, where's San Francisco? There it is, the Golden Gate Bridge. So,
yeah. I mean, it does say the prompt is a map of California with exaggerated label features.
Yes.
So it is, but I love it. It makes it so freaking cool.
Yeah.
I love this one. Like when I was going through this, and I'm on my phone, so of course it's tiny, and I'm like, every one of these I click, I'm like, it's just mind blowing. And this guy posts a whole bunch of these. So here's the next one: is make this picture more visually aesthetic. Took an HTML screenshot from Claude, and it added really neat logos and elevated the look and feel significantly. So you got the left side's the original, the right side's the new. And it does look more visually appealing. I like the little icon, little logos it did. That's just really well done. Very, very. So I think this was the last one. Yeah, because then that was the last of the images. So He says, truly, I'm at a point where it just doesn't make sense to share an image that is not beautified by ChatGPT. I don't think it is necessary to use an image editing tool to create any sort of infographic. UI design will probably go through ChatGPT first and saves a lot more tokens than generating it from scratch. So very interesting. I'll have that linked in my YouTube description later if anybody wants to go see that post.
Well, I was looking, while you were doing that, I was looking at the OpenAI account, and then they had this X notification that happened this morning just an hour ago about depreciating all of the communities on X. Did you see that? It just happened today, and I'm thinking, it says, it's deprecating. It says to keep getting the latest news, join a chat group and follow your favorite posters before the community is gone on May 6th.
That's so interesting because I went in, I was going to tell you this, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I went into our DM group on desktop and it wasn't there. I couldn't find the link to StreamYard. So I went into my phone. It was there on mobile. So I copy and pasted that into Slack and then clicked from Slack to get into StreamYard.
Wow.
So I just was like, is there a weird glitch? So I'm glad you said that, Barb. So like the group
just an hour ago when it said
I just found it. I'll put it up on the screen so we can all look at it.
But when they say communities, do they mean communities or do they mean group chats?
No, I think they're talking about
chats gone.
No, look, it says X communities. I mean, look,
and join a chat group. It says.
Yeah, I mean, I started with community when it was a new feature. I did one, but it's hard to keep those going. X is not the. I always said X was not the ideal place for a community. No. And back in the Twitter days, they. I mean, it did start when it was still Twitter. They did start that community feature. I got in early access so I could have one, and. Like anything else, you're starting with 0 people in it. It's hard to build and grow, but they didn't have enough features and it was hard to people. I never liked them, so I didn't do it. I set them up. I just didn't. So I'm not terribly surprised. There's probably been a big decline, especially with Skool. Look, Skool has taken away a lot of places people normally have communities. Skool has an insane number of communities now and an insane number of just members of people in Skool communities. They've grown so much just in the last year. But yeah, this is a tweet from head of product at X. It says, today we're announcing 2 product changes for organizing communities on X. XChat, and so I'm not even familiar with XChat, but just for looking from the screenshot, this looks very much like their Instagram one's done it, or Substack, right? Like I know you use the Substack feature, Rachel. It's kind of like a group chat thing, right?
Yeah, chat is for your subscribers. So if somebody is a follower, they're not going to have access to it. But if they're a subscriber, then they will. So that's what chat's for in Substack. It's not quote unquote public. It's like a private chat group, basically. Some people turn on paid chat. So if that's something, for example, like what you're doing on Skool, if you wanted to keep it all in Substack, you could create a chat just for that particular thing that then people can pay to access, to either have time with you or interact with you or whatever. So that's how Substack uses chat. But it's confusing because chat is different than messaging, right? If you want to talk to me privately on Substack, then you would message me, right? And me, you. If I want to send a message out to all my subscribers, like, hey, my new post is up, click here, it goes to everybody who has subscribed to me.
Well, Maria just joined and I just saw that she put all these comments, and we can definitely hear from her that because she's been using that communities feature since it started.
She has,
but she's saying what I always had issues with, it doesn't work right. It's nice to have, but interesting because, you know, I scrolled down on that tweet and they did come back and say that they realize they got to give more time for people to transition. So they changed it to May 30th and they're increasing the group chat to 500. With an aim for 1,000. So, Maria, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Actually, you know what? Let me just real quick because I wanted to show y'all what I did in the ChatGPT images last night. I haven't shown. So it was the last thing I was going to show y'all, and then we can end our discussion with this if y'all are good with that, because we were right in the middle of wrapping up. I just wanted y'all to see what I did last night when I was playing with a cool image I was creating. I was so excited, so I wanted to share this with y'all. So I was watching a video last night, and the lady was talking about the ChatGPT Images 2.0. And so one of her prompt examples she showed was like an image of a notebook with handwriting stuff. So I'm like, what? And I loved how hers looked. So what I did last night is the prompt. I said, I would love an image of a handwritten note on notebook paper in blue ink that gives my best tips for getting started with making videos, building confidence, and just pressing the button. Because this is what I'm doing right now with my Video Like a Rockstar program. We're currently doing a 5-day video challenge, and I want to create some images for that. So I said, this is specifically to promote my Video Like a Rockstar program. But I wanted to be clear. I don't want to brand it that way. Like, I don't want to put a logo on there or anything. Mm-hmm. I said, I just want some cool images. I mean, I just prompt the way I talk. I said,
you're right.
I said, it's just more of cool images I could put out that showcase me as a video confidence coach. This is what it created on the first go around.
Wow.
And it was beautiful. I'm like, this is perfect. But instead of my best tips, I'm like, well, I think it should say Madalyn's best tips. So I came back and I said, and I go into the edit, I was already on there. I clicked the edit button and I said, this is amazing. The only thing I would change is calling it Madalyn's best tips, not my best tips. Because I definitely want to at least have my name on it to brand that, especially because people will just take it and copy it and use it. So I'd rather have my name. And so I loved everything else it did. I mean, when I saw the example this other lady was doing on her YouTube, I'm like, I love this look. I always think this is a cool look. It's just, a notebook paper using a blue pen, because the blue pens, usually you don't see that as much. And it just automatically put the little stars, a heart, and ChatGPT already knows everything about the program I'm teaching. I didn't have to give it anything else. It took exactly things that I'm teaching right now in the program. I was so impressed. And I know, Barb, you were talking about before of like, just getting started with doing an image. And so if you're like let me show you real quick. If you're in a new chat, now this is ChatGPT native for inside ChatGPT, then you click on, I'm surprised they don't have, on mobile, something has come up automatically on my phone and they did that the last time they made an update to the images.
Yeah.
But on desktop, click on the plus and then go to create images. And then here's the what's new. It's showing you this, but it needs to have this on. And then for aspect ratio, maybe this was something I saw last night. I was talking because I recognize that little icon. It's set for auto, but if you click on it, it shows you some different aspect ratios. Oh,
there it is. Okay.
So that's
Thank you.
New. This is all new. And then you can click on the what's new to just, this is this. The first time I was on here since the update, this automatically popped up, but you can always click on that here. But yeah, so that's what you want to do, is you want to go in there and click on that. So interesting stuff. I can't wait to see between now, when we get together next Thursday, I'm excited to see what all we've created using the ChatGPT Image 2.0. And like one of those videos mentioned that we watch, she was showing stuff she did on the free account. So it's not just for paid accounts. You would be able to use it more on a paid account because, they're going to give you access to more. You'll run out of the credits or whatever they call it. They don't really tell us exactly. They don't say at ChatGPT, on your free account, you get X number. So it's just at some point it will stop. Nano Banana has done that to me on the free account. It'll just stop you at some point. But on the paid account, you'll be able to keep going. But I'm curious to see what all you all create between now and then, because it'll be interesting. I'm super impressed. And as I said earlier, it's like ChatGPT is giving me another reason to stay. The way I can do all these. Maria, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, she says she can only hear Barb. when she's in
When
here.
she was in the studio, yeah, I noticed that too.
Interesting, because I definitely would like to hear what she was saying in the comments, because she's been using that communities feature. I know she's been doing that a long time. So
Right.
definitely love her takes. So Maria, you still can't hear me? I guess not. But I'm not sure why she's having issues. But yeah, this is very interesting to hear about this X chat and the communities over on X. But I mean, like I said before, X just, and I'm known for teaching X Twitter back in the day, but I just never. Old school Twitter chats were great for community. That was always I built a big, large community from the Smarter Twitter chat. It was amazing. But we never had the ability to like really have a community like you can on a Facebook group. And now these days, even better in a school community. So, and one of the things I love about Skool, just, the power of like how much better a tool like that is for building community versus, say, a Facebook group, is that I have the ability to have a free school community or a paid school community, or what we call freemium, whereas both is free, but then I can have different paid tiers, very much like a Patreon. But I can have a classroom, and I can have classes where if you're in this tier, you get access to these classes, but I can do one-off classes where that you got to pay just for this one. There's so much flexibility.
Yeah.
And that's what's blown me away. Sam, and I now learned how to properly say his name. I always saw Sam Ovens. It's Sam Ovens.
Oh.
I've learned something new. Sam Ovens. So when I first started was, I've been using Skool for some of my communities for quite a while now. How long have I been? About 2.5 years. I think my first one I was already in Skool for about 3 years. I've been there for about 3 years now, but I started my first one about 2.5 years ago, and I have, and then I got this one, the AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter. I've had that for a couple of years. And then my brand new one, Video Like a Rockstar, that I literally just launched this month, like is brand new. And the progression of how much it can do now. When I first started and I was in there 3 years ago, it was great. And I still thought it was better than a Facebook group for a community, but it didn't have nearly as many features.
Right.
You could either be you could have a free community or a paid community. You couldn't do live streaming yet. You had the calendar, you had the community, which is like a forum. You had the ability to charge for one-off classes. Like you had some really cool features. But now this whole thing is just off the charts. And every week, Sam Ovens, him and one of the other guys at Skool, they do a weekly video. And I definitely encourage everybody, Skool News. I know, Barb, you're always keeping up with it. And they're always talking about, here's what the roadmap. Here's what we've done. Here's what's new. And here's what we're working on. And they're constantly making it better. And the brand new thing they just added is for if you're an owner of a community on Skool, they just they're trying to make discoverability better inside a school because it's so large now. There's so many people there, and they're searching for communities to join. Is you can do keywords. You can add keywords. You can add up to 11 keywords to your community, so it can be discovered more easily. So for anybody here watching, if you have a Skool community, be sure to go into your settings, because it's a new feature, and use your favorite AI to help you come up with the best 11 hashtags, because this is what they're working on. They want to make discoverability a lot better, and that will help drive. And if you are using Skool, you get analytics. Now, on if you're paying $9 a month, that's the lowest paid tier for owning a Skool community. You get some analytics, but you don't get the full. So you'll just be able to see let me see, it's because I have both kinds of schools. I have, the $9 a month, and I have the $99 a month. So on the $9 a month plan, and for $9 a month, I mean, you get a lot of features. It is totally worth doing. You can always upgrade or downgrade at any time. But for the analytics, and this analytics feature has only been around for a few months, but it's incredible. On the lower tier, the analytics you still get the full overview, how many members, your your engagement percent, your growth, conversion rate, things like that, the number of signups. But they want you to be able to see where people are coming from when they join your group. So on the $9 a month plan, you'll only be able to see the analytics on people who signed up from Skool. So they discovered you on Skool and they signed up, which I've already seen a huge difference in that working in my favor, because I'm already getting people that apparently found this just from surfing around on Skool for my new video, Like a Rock Star. But when I go into, like say my Kratom community, I can see, because I pay $99 a month, so I get the full. So I can see that people that just clicked on the direct link that I'm putting out all online, they clicked on that 51% are people that are coming from my direct link. I've got 25% coming from Google. It's letting me know, like, people are doing Google searches and finding it. And then you got a percentage coming from Substack, and a percentage coming directly inside of Skool. Now, the amount of people coming directly inside of Skool is small because they had not focused on that internal discoverability until now. So because I just added the hashtags this week, and I'm really hoping I'm going to start seeing more growth from inside the Skool community, finding my Kratom community and finding the AI shortcuts community. So it'll be really interesting. I love that they give you, because these were features we did not have before. And so they're constantly making it better. It is incredible. Anyway, Maria, I'm glad you're at least in the live chat, since we haven't been able to get you on screen hearing me, because I definitely wanted to hear. But you know what, Maria, if you can come back on next week, I would love to hear more about what's happening with the communities and hear about how you're dealing with this, because again, you've been using this feature from the beginning. And I'm curious, like, what are you going to do now? I would definitely recommend to anyone looking for a new home for a community, I would look at Skool. For $9 a month. You can do so much. I just don't trust Facebook groups anymore. I just don't trust Facebook, between censoring issues, their AI, that, don't forget when AI accidentally shut down humongous Facebook groups by accident.
Mm-hmm. And it's really scary, since it's actually following our profiles and our pages. And like I said about the Balloon Museum, I felt so sorry for it, because, I mean, send them to their website. Don't send it to somebody else. They don't know what the heck is going on. And it's a special event that is for that website, and it's educational. It's not a for-profit thing, and it's like, well, wait a minute. You have that information. That page is not new. It's been there for years. There's been postings from it. The AI should have been able to pull all of that in and draw from that content, just like a project that we have on ChatGPT. Right. But did they even soft announce it to us? It must have been in the fine print where they were laying everybody off, because I sure didn't see any separate announcement. And I think that's the most discouraged I've been in a long, long time, because, I mean, the step last year, in the last 18 months, where they said, okay, we don't want to have links in your posts anymore. You can tell us your story and then add the link in a comment to your post. And so you saw a lot of people doing that, and then they said, well, we're gonna make it so that they won't be as visible if you add a link in your post. And you're trying to train people from all over the world, and so they have a language difference just to communicate, and then being able to interpret the technology application to it as well. It's just a bit overwhelming. And
yeah,
I don't know, because after my live this morning, they had shut on my feed. Everything had the little purple icon on it, and when you click it, it gives you like the amount of content it gives you is like having a whole new post for you to add to your groups or pages or whatever. But it often wasn't even relative to what the content was being shared. That was scary. And then when it gave you the sources to it, it was to another unrelated destination.
Wow.
So, and I would say in their case, it was an entrepreneur trying to take traffic away from them. And I don't, that does not appeal to me at all. So.
Right. Right. I do want to mention Maria said in the comments that she's thinking about Skool now. And if anybody wants to, needs help with setting up a Skool community, let me know because I'm happy to help you get started with that. I know Maria, you like live streaming and video and audio and stuff. One of the great features with Skool now is the ability to live stream inside of there. So only your community members at whether it's your free, your paid, however, you could have it just for the paid ones. You can do it however you want. But the beauty is, and this was something that was incredible that Sam did. Like I in my 5-day video challenge on let me show you real quick on my video like a rock star. This, anybody can come join us, even though we're in the middle of this 5-day video challenge right now. You can still come join us at any time because all of this is evergreen info. Somebody can come join us today and just start on day one and follow. It's very easy to just do on your own. It's just we've been doing it as a group this week, but it's something that anybody can do it at any time. But one of the features I love about Skool is when I live stream, and what I've been doing is every day this week for 30 minutes, I host a live is a check-in Q&A, discussion. I'm able to record it. And as soon as I'm done recording, I immediately get a notification with the video. I can download the video. So now I have it to use however I want. So it can be valuable content. I could package it up and do something else with, or put it on social if I want. And it will immediately let me go ahead and put it out as a post so people in the community that missed it can watch the replay if I choose to. And so I always have that option. I will go turn around, make it as a post with a replay so people can go watch it. And in that process, I also have the ability to get a copy of the transcript of that video, which has been phenomenal. So my current workflow is I do these live streams every day in there for that community, for this community you see on the screen. Feel free to join us. You can go to skool.com and go search for Video Like a Rockstar, or use my bit.ly link I have on the screen, bit.ly/VLAR. That stands for Video Like a Rockstar, VLAR 5-day. So anyway, every day I do my half-hour video chat. I then take that notification I go get the transcript, I put it into ChatGPT to work with me to help me formulate a good post, a follow-up post with the video. So the video is ready, the post is ready, I added my content to it, and now I have this really nice information for those that didn't catch it live that can go watch the replay. It's incredible the amount of tools they give us inside of here. And you can make your communities public, or anybody that finds it can go see everything, see everybody's posts. I like mine to be private. You only get to see the content if you're inside of it. You sign up, all of my communities are free. And Video Like a Rockstar, I'm getting ready to add a paid tier. But what I have right now, all of this stuff is free, and it will continue, everything in there will continue to be free. But I'm just a big fan of utilizing Skool for all of my communities. It's just been one of the best things I've done. I used this program I'm teaching right now, Video Like a Rockstar. Back when I taught it years ago, it was, and this was costly, Thinkific for the classroom section. And if anybody that's used Thinkific, it was, it wasn't cheap. And then a Facebook group for the community mastermind aspect. And the beauty is, for this program right now I'm going to be doing a lot more here, and I will definitely at some point upgrade up to the $99 a month plan. But for now, I'm just doing the $9 a month plan. So for a $9 a month investment, instead of, I think I was paying $100 and something a month for Thinkific just to be able to host some courses, I'm able to do all of that here, plus have the community, so I can do the mastermind type thing with the live stream inside. I have access to everything. There's no limit to the number of videos. I can upload videos, and then when I do the lives, I can download them. They're not, Facebook, what does Facebook do now? You get 30 days, and then your live streams are gone. They remove them. That doesn't happen on Skool. And also, one more thing to mention that I love about Skool. If you do offer paid plans or paid classes, they do something really interesting that the other similar platforms don't do. The other platforms take quite a percentage of your credit card sales. What Skool does that I've always liked is on the $99 a month plan, it's just utilizing Stripe. It's your Stripe account, but they're making sure it's getting done through Skool. You don't have to do anything. You just, give your access to Stripe. They don't charge extra. It's just the typical 3.5%. You already, your Stripe credit card fees. That's it. They're not adding to it. They easily could. Patreon adds quite a bit. Substack adds quite a bit. A lot of them do that. It's one of the ways they make money. Skool does not do that. But on the $9 a month plan, they do take a flat 10%. So if you're not monetizing your community, then the $9 a month plan is a good idea. If you are going to monetize or are currently monetizing, but you're just at that lower level, then it makes sense to just keep it that way. And 10% is not that big a deal. But then if you're really generating income off of this, then it'll make sense at some point. You do your own math and you'll see when it pays to just go ahead and do the $99 a month, because there'll be no additional fees taken out of the credit card sales. And you do get a few more features. You get a lot of features at the $9 a month plan. But if anybody's interested in learning more, just get with me and I'd be happy to walk you through it. I just really love building communities on there, and I love my new one. It's been a lot of fun doing this video program. So that's what I got for today. I'm going to go play with ChatGPT Image 2.0 some more today, and I can't wait to see what else I create. And Barb, I can't wait to see what all you create.
Thank you. I just noticed this in these last couple of moments that OpenAI just dropped news saying that a new feature on the image feature that it had improved ChatGPT to 5.5.
I just looked to
just
see
over that, and I'm like, okay, so that means the text that we write there is going to be better.
Yeah,
so
I see
talk
that.
about that next week. That'll be great.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, because what I do to easily stay on top of OpenAI and Claude and all the others is in X, and X is the best place to get this kind of breaking news or just staying on top of things like this, is I still use Twitter lists. Back when Twitter lists came out a gazillion years ago, Twitter lists are the best thing. So I have a Twitter list of the different X accounts, so I can easily, and what I have, let me see, I can show you all real quick. I have I always have workflows for everything. It just makes it, this is why for like 25 years, my motto, because I didn't start it, I've been doing all this for 30 years, but it was about 5 years in when I came up with my motto, work smarter, not harder. And it was because of things like this. So you'll see at the top here, I'm in my X, I'm in the home, so I'm just in the home feed. At the top here, I have one called AI stuff. And it's private. It's just for nobody's going to see this but me. And it's just so I have very specific Twitter accounts in this one list. And I can just at any time, so every day, multiple times a day, when I'm on my home screen, I click on AI stuff. Normally you're on your For You, right? I click on my AI stuff. Again, you call it whatever you want. And there it is right at the top. Because when you mention that, Barb, I'm like, oh, all I got to do is just go to my Twitter list real quick and I'll see what you're talking about. And yeah, so look at this. GPT 5.5 rolling out today for Plus, Pro, Business. So anybody but free. If you're on the free account, you're not getting this today, but everybody else.
Well, ChatGPT is definitely worth paying for, I think.
For $20 a month,
for $20.
I think it's a no-brainer. I love it, and
because they are keeping up with it. I mean, when we're paying that, it's like, well, we pay $20, and then
absolutely
they want $10 more or whatever. I absolutely hate the way Elon is handling X on that front.
I am not liking it,
because they made me pay, and then I think don't I pay for the where it has the very first level was like $20 a month, isn't it? Something like that. And then he's stepping it up from there. So
it was $30. I thought you're talking about the top X tier.
Well, there's a plus and then a something on top of that. I'll have to look at it myself, but we can talk about that next week. I'm excited about what OpenAI is doing.
No, it's $40 a month. The top tier is $40 a month.
Yeah, because that's what
Premium Plus.
They gave me a free trial, but I didn't read the fine print that it was, you were on there after that, it would switch to whatever.
Yeah, it's
So I
basic.
got
It's
this big
basic.
bill, and I'm going, whoa.
Basic for $3 a month, premium for $8 a month, and premium plus for $40 a month. And that's if you're paying monthly. You get a discount if you do an annual. Now, here's the thing. So I had the blue check mark. First of all, people did campaigns to try to
You're right.
convince Twitter to give me a blue check. They would not do it, and it was crazy because it was very apparent, like a lot of favoritism went into that. You had to know
Right.
somebody. And I got to a point where I knew people at Twitter, but they couldn't. And I'm like, that sucks. And I applied so many times, and there was no reason for them to not give me a blue check mark. I mean, I was like one of the small number of people teaching Twitter as a business full time. Like, it was just craziness. People could not believe that I didn't have a blue check mark. And so people would do these campaigns trying to get Twitter to do. Anyway, once the pay thing is like, and for me, it wasn't, oh, I'm going to pay $4 $3 a month, I think, in the beginning, when it was still Twitter, that you could, it wasn't, I didn't care about the blue check. Like, I got to the point where I did not care anymore. The whole thing was rigged anyway. That's not being conspiracy theorists. It is like, you talk to people that work there, you talk to people that have it and people that don't have it. It was a rigged system, the way they did that. It was so ridiculous. I didn't care anymore. It's like everybody knew who I was, even Gary Vaynerchuk. When I met Gary Vaynerchuk in person, and this was back when he only had 2 million followers. And he didn't, I mean, I know he has a lot more now. He didn't follow. I think he followed, it wasn't a tiny number, but it was not a huge number. He followed me. And I couldn't believe, like, the Gary Vaynerchuk followed me because he doesn't follow everybody. And when I met him in person in 2016, it was exactly 10 years ago, because it was March 2016 when I spoke at Social Media Marketing World the first time. He was a keynote speaker, or one of the keynote speakers. So I went and met him, and I was like, how am I introduce myself? So I was like, whatever comes out of me. I walked up to him. I go, hi, I'm Madalyn Skylar, and I hold up my badge, because I remember the badge had my name real big. He goes, I know who you are. And I was like, I was shocked. But it was just crazy how well known I had gotten for teaching Twitter. But the people in charge of verification back then, it was just bizarre. But anyway, once it was the $3 a month, it was like, I wanted the features you got. It wasn't the blue check mark part. It was the other features, and especially the ability to organize your bookmarks. That I kept telling everybody every week on the Twitter Smarter Chat, for $3 a month. Oh my God, being able to organize all these folders for my bookmarks, that was an amazing feature. And then when they add the editing, that was edit your tweet. Like, they kept adding really great features, and it was so worth it. But then when Elon came in, he changed it and totally upped the price. So me, like a lot of other people, I just canceled it. It's like, I don't want to pay all this extra money for like, it's not worth it anymore, these features, if we're going to all have to start paying, this amount of money. And he wanted a lot more for it. But, and for me, it was just more principle kind of thing, because I wasn't really happy with it. Really changed all the things I was doing to help people. It all became very drastic at one point. It's like, this is not the same. This is not Twitter anymore. Anyway, they came up with this thing at one point where he decided some people will get the blue check mark for free with the features. You got to have a certain number of followers that are verified that are paying. And apparently, I guess, I do have a lot of followers, but also keep in mind, I started my Twitter in 2008. So and I taught Twitter, and I ran multiple Twitter chats. If you run Twitter chats, you connect with a lot of people, because you're very, very visible. Because that used to be the way to connect, was with hashtags, especially with Twitter chats. And plus, I just got really popular, and I spoke at a lot of events around the country, and so it was all about Twitter for a long time. People were very into it. But I guess I have a lot of paid verified users of X that happen to follow me. So all of a sudden one day, the check mark came back, and I'm like, I'm not paying for that. But I remember Elon talking about how they were going to give that to people that had that certain, I forgot how many thousands of people had to have the blue verified check mark. But I was like, okay, I don't mind. I don't mind having it for free, even though I'm not a big fan of X anymore. But
Yeah.
but we're still here, and we're still going to use it to live stream.
Right.
People seem to like it for live because we always get a lot of viewers when we're live streaming.
I'm on there for what the Grok, the first level of the paid version, to get the news headlines every hour, because it does pull out onto the internet and bring that in and put that all together.
You get the fastest news on X.
And that's what I was going to say. No matter what, I've been testing it all this time because I didn't want to have to continue paying, but it does have it first. And then I take what it pulls up and put it in ChatGPT, and I get it even better. So, that's how I've dealt with it and rationalized it. But, and the other thing about my Skool community, I have not paid attention to growing. I just did it because I wanted to see that we could go live there directly without any other tools, which we can. And I also had learned to use virtual cameras applications like ManyCam is what, I've been using that since the Google Hangout days, I guess, and they've continued to upgrade it. And that allows me to have multiple audio and multiple I actually have like a separate, through the camera application, a separate video and audio feeds, and up to 10, I think it is. And so it just really, by having it directly in there, it's tops. But my only, it's like if they just did this one thing, and I'm talking about even on StreamYard, on Facebook and all of that, is the one thing that we had on Blab. And when I saw it come up, I said, man, these guys are doing the research, because I had been working with the Mayo Clinic at the time on another project, and they were talking how the human brain, how it interacts and pays attention and so forth. And remember how we always had the props come up? There would be multiple people watching the Blab, and if they liked what you were saying or I was saying, they would add props and they would come up.
Yeah.
Skool doesn't have that, but not only does it not have that, it does not have the different emojis for expressions like we had, and it took Facebook forever to get them, but that was another
Skool
thing.
has it. Skool has it.
Psychology Today only gives me the thumbs up prop. So where do they have it?
On Skool?
Mm-hmm.
They have multiple ones, because when I'm hosting them, people are always doing the different emojis. I know there's heart.
You mean in the live? You mean in the live?
In a live
I'm just
Skool.
talking about in the posts, because that is the core element.
Okay. I thought you were talking about live streaming.
And no, they do have it in the live part, but they don't have it in just the posts. They just give you the thumbs up post. That's it. And people are often in a hurry, and they want you to know they've been there.
But X is the same way. X has never changed theirs. It's always been just a heart. It used to be a star, and then they changed it to heart. But it's always just a heart.
Yeah.
So they don't give it.
I know, but I'm just saying that with the research that has been done on it, I mean, that is why Facebook moved to it. And I can tell you from looking at stats within Facebook groups and that, it makes a difference of having that. And so that is the one thing that they don't have. And you should mention it to them.
They listen. They're very
I actually thought of that, because I said, that is the only thing there that is just really freaking me out. And I found some old screenshots of Blab, and the thing about of having the props be coming up real time. And if you remember from Blab, we used to get to send a tweet out to Twitter saying, hey, come join us in Blab.
Yep.
And to be able to have that again would be exceptional. But of course, Elon's going to charge through the roof or anything like that.
Right.
exception wise.
Right.
Well, I got to get running.
Yeah, I need to wrap up. Yeah, this was an awesome chat as always. If anybody got here late, be sure to watch the replay as soon as this ends. You can watch it from the beginning, and we'll be back next Thursday to do it again. Come join me over on all my different Skool communities. Come join this one, AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter. You can go look it up if you just go to skool.com, and then the video Like a Rock Star. And we'll be back next Thursday to hang out and do this again. We'll see y'all soon. Take care.